Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 10th episode. 10th episode of the Death Mountain podcast. Joining me this week, we've actually got Trevor back, and actually he'll be joining me every week. So, this is week 2 of Trevor being back, so you got that, Ricardo. Trevor's back. We're good. That's how it should be. So, that's some pretty cool stuff. You're probably wondering why we don't have some fancy weird intro this week, and that's just because us here at Death Mountain Productions,
we ran out of ideas.
Not that sort of, but we're just very highly professional people who don't believe that humor has no place in videos.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
that's not it at all.
I completely agree.
So we're almost as we're almost as serious here at Death Mountain Productions as Nintendo is about banning the 3DS modding community.
Yeah, so a big ban wave, as the hacking community likes to call it, basically has started rolling out for 3DSs, and what it targets is 3DSs with custom firmware installed. Basically what you can do with the 3DS, and I'm not going to say like how to do it, but you can
figure that out on your own.
You can hack it. And basically what that does is allows you to install like homebrew applications. It allows you to install, dare I say it, pirated games. It allows you to install basically anything you want. You can modify, you can cheat, you can hack in Pokemon, all the goods. It can be used for good, but it's mostly used for bad. So Nintendo's been cracking down.
Yeah, and they make it to where you can't access any of like the apps like YouTube, Hulu, Netflix, stuff like that. That's all gone.
This ban affects all online services that connect to Nintendo Network. Most of them actually. But yeah, so all the media apps, any online gaming, any online connectivity to Nintendo Network. Friends list is disabled.
However, the web browser and the Nintendo eShop seems to be left up there. Yep. I wonder why they would leave their shop available to hackers.
Yeah, they want your money.
Yeah, don't hack our systems and don't put free games on it, but you can definitely join the eShop. We're going to ban you from everything, but definitely come buy some games from us. Legally get games.
What's funny is the last ban wave that went around was for people that got Pokemon Sun and Moon early, which you could only do on custom firmware.
Which was big.
Yeah, that was huge.
Crazy.
Nintendo freaked, and they just went ham. They even told reviewers to not play their early copies because that could get their consoles banned.
Which was crazy.
But that also got them banned from the eShop too. So this one, they left those services open, which is interesting. But they also updated their support site saying that this error code, because before they told you contact Nintendo, now it just says that the system is pretty much blocked for modification that's unauthorized.
Yeah, it's
unauthorized
crazy.
Games and just all that stuff. And then they say that anything to lift the restriction, like contacting Nintendo, will not be processed at all. You're done.
It says in this article that hackers can still circumvent Nintendo systems and grab eShop titles for free if they know how to.
Oh yeah,
people probably.
There's an application that I will not name that literally a eShop for pirates,
which is crazy.
Yep, that exists too, and that installs the same way you install pirated. I
think it's a good thing. I like that Nintendo's doing this. It's showing that they still even though it's the 3DS. It might not be the current thing on the market.
Yeah.
Like they're caring a little bit more about the Switch probably at the moment, but they're still trying to eliminate that hacking community, which is kind of cool. I like that.
I mean, the thing is that a lot of the people that do hack the 3DS, there are people that cheat.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, exactly. So this banning of online services mainly just affects the people that don't cheat, they're gone too.
That kind of sucks.
There's not really much they can do. So the online's gone. You can still the hackers. I don't think any of our viewers are 3DS hackers, but you can basically still play single player games.
I think they might be hackers.
There could be.
They might be hackers.
There could be. So you can still play those games, and so it's just online features besides the eShop and the web browser.
So if you're gonna hack your Nintendo 3DS, be prepared. You're most likely
Yeah, I don't know how long the bandwave's going to last. No one knows exact connections to it. No one knows.
This does look like one of the biggest ones they've done.
But Nintendo's been collecting data for years.
It says here decades on hackers.
And Reggie's unleashed his wrath.
Come on, Reggie, I'm telling you, man. If he would stop wasting time on this 3DS console, start getting his crap together, and he starts making that Smash Bros. Game for the Switch that we all want, I think more people would be happy. I mean, nobody's happy that the thing is getting banned, but
some people are.
Some people that were getting cheated on
getting sent hacked Pokemon in the trades.
Yeah, but now I'd rather be playing Smash Bros. On my Nintendo Switch. So if you're watching this podcast, Reggie, and I know you probably aren't, we want Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
But speaking of video games that we want to come out, we've got a pretty awesome game that was actually just announced.
Like with a trailer and everything.
Full release.
Far Cry 5. So they're actually last week they technically announced Far Cry 5, but they didn't say anything about it, which is why we didn't cover it. But
they had talked about it a little bit, like, hey, Far Cry 5's coming out, yada, yada, yada.
They showed the logo.
But now we've actually got some information. We've got...
The release date is...
a lot.
February 27th, 2018. It's slated to come out that day, but there could be delays, especially with a date that specific. I don't think...
That is very specific.
For being that far out.
February 28th. Is the
February
28th? I know the 28th is Valentine's Day, isn't it?
That's the 14th.
Is it the 14th? I'm an idiot.
The 28th is the last day of February.
Oh, that's right.
Except for on a leap year.
That's on camera.
Which is in 2020.
That's going to be documented until the day I die. Oh, man.
Good, we're keeping it.
February 28th is the new Valentine's Day here at Death
This
Mountain
may not be
Productions.
live, but everything is saved.
I hope the 28th is like a podcast date so we can have like a special Valentine's Day edition.
Stop. Stop.
Anyways, I'm just... The thing I'm sort of wary about having a set date like this, Ubisoft has in the past had a history of games that may or may not be released fully completed, as we've seen with Assassin's Creed.
Actually, yeah. So basically, there's two ways that you can release an incomplete game. One of them is not having enough content, like Destiny 1.
And then releasing it in waves that you have to pay for.
Yeah. The other way, Ubisoft usually releases a pretty complete package, but what they don't do is make sure they don't have bugs.
Like faceless characters servers, and there's glitching everywhere.
Their servers are actually, they don't use servers usually.
But
just their network and like the bugs in the game.
They do for Far Cry.
That's what usually happens with Ubisoft. The recent releases have not been too bad.
Yes, no, I'm glad. I think they needed to though. That was Unity?
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, Unity was rough. Mm-hmm. So I'm really glad that they're actually like. I really hope that they make this game good because I love the Far Cry series. It's fun, and you can play it. It says here that they're going to make the full campaign available for 1-player playthrough as well as the entire campaign 2-player compatible, which I love.
That's a big deal.
They had that 2-player game mode in the previous one. It was like a wave sort of system, and that's fun. You sit down, you kick back, and you shoot some stuff and blow some things up with a buddy. But being able to play a full campaign, like an actual story, that's what made everyone like Halo so much. Like that was awesome. Being able to play through a full campaign with your buddy.
See, I hope the only thing about playing an entire co-op campaign is I hope that they don't like really like mess up the whole campaign structure from like past Far Cry games.
Yeah, I can
just
see that.
To accommodate for the second player. So
where it would be like an open world shooter.
So like they can make sure it works for 2 players, but like not just like still focus on the 1-player experience, but and also being able to have that other person play with you.
Which I hope they do that.
Because this still primarily to me is a single player game. You can play with friends, but
like you run around, you get like stuff that like materials you need to make like ammunition stuff, and it's just kind of cool. So I'm really hoping that they actually do that. Far Cry Primal was a big example. You had to actually go like loot different stuff from the environment to create different items to use in the game. And so if you just had 2 people roaming around, hopefully they don't take away that whole accomplished feel in that game.
Yeah,
but it seems pretty cool.
A little bit of a summary of the whole story thing here is that it's like a whole militia themed thing where there's like a whole setting of like people in this town like area in apparently Montana, but it's a fictional location in Montana.
Fictional Montana. I mean, Montana is already practically.
But like some people are in the militia, some people aren't, and then there's
the father.
Yeah,
Joseph Seed
and his family.
He's got a cool name.
And just there's, it's really interesting. Basically, how
it is pretty cool.
It's the townspeople versus the militia.
Previous games were pretty much just like an open world shooter where you'd just be against these big armies that would just be trying to essentially just kill you the entire game.
Yeah,
so now it's
some very like significant villain on like some
exactly.
nice scenic location.
It'd be like a nice like an island with like some massive villain.
Yep.
You have to like go through this whole wavelength to get to that. Yeah. Also, I don't care if we ruined that for you because you should have played the game a decade ago, if you cared about it that much. But it's going to be kind of cool that you're actually going against the father, Joseph Seed.
And you recruit people for your cause pretty much.
And he's been establishing a cult called the Project at Eden's Gate. And they're preparing for like a big fight is what it says here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. They're recruiting people in the town to do bidding. It's going to be cool. I'm excited. I think it's going to be in depth. However, they were talking about it being like The Last Stand. I can't remember what they were calling it. What did they call that?
What now?
Like the last game, like the last hurrah, essentially, of Far Cry. I've been like hearing a lot about. I don't know. It could be rumor or speculation. I'm not entirely certain of this being potentially the last
Far Cry game.
The last Far Cry game. I've heard rumors of it. Whether or not that's actually true or not, I don't know. I hope not. I sure hope not. That'd be cool if we could get some more of those games out there. But yeah, so we'll keep you updated as we get more news because that's fresh news, guys.
Yep. And you can watch the trailer. It's up on YouTube. We'll go to look it up.
You'll probably see it on Facebook because we'll probably end up sharing it.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Speaking of new stuff coming to the market,
her transitions are
man,
so great.
my transitions are fantastic. Thank you. Something near and dear to my heart and this guy's heart: the Surface Pro line from Microsoft.
Yeah. So we have the Surface Pro 5. Surface Pro, new Surface Pro.
It's not officially called the Surface Pro 5. It's actually called the Surface Pro.
You sure it's not the new Surface Pro?
I'm pretty sure.
See,
when they title it New Surface Pro, the N isn't capitalized. Okay. So I'm assuming that's not actually like an addition to the Surface Pro title.
I'm just looking it up to see on the
Google
Microsoft
search.
store.
Oh, Surface Pro.
Yep,
I win.
Just Surface Pro.
There you go. So they're gonna be doing a lot like the iPad did. Like pretty much any more you have to call it the iPad. Oh, which iPad do you want? Oh, the iPad.
Yeah, because there's the iPad, the iPad.
I don't want the iPad. I want the iPad.
And then there was a few more. They just called it iPads. Then the iPad Air, and then there's just iPad Airs.
Which Surface Pro would you like? The Surface Pro. The Pro 3? Pro 4? No, the Pro.
The original
Which Pro? Yeah. Pro 2?
The one from 2012 when Windows 8 came out?
Yeah, I'm excited. I like the new keyboards, that little felt on them.
They got the Alcantara,
which is cool.
Alcantara. I don't know how to say it.
I think it's Alcantara.
That was their signature edition keyboards from the Surface Pro 4, as if you remember those. The carpet on the Surface laptops, and on this now, Alcantara.
Yeah, I'm excited. I kind of like that they're dropping the Pro number. I kind of like that, so I'm interested to see how they're going to do that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to have upwards of 50% more battery life than the previous model.
Yep, so there's a claim of 13.5 hours. I'm assuming just because there's actually like more battery inside of it, and the fact that they're using the 7th generation Intel Kaby Lake processors in these new laptops. They call it the most versatile laptop, so I can get away with that.
Yeah, and they've got a couple of fanless designs still. So we're going with a Core M3 and a Core i5 model. We'll still have fanless designs. Whether or not that's
to be fair, we never actually had a fanless Surface Pro before.
That's true.
Only the RT ones have been fanless.
That's true. So yeah, the Surface Pro being fanless will be interesting. It's going to make it a little bit more robust.
Up to i5.
A little bit more durable.
Which is pretty impressive having an i5, because M3 you can get away with fanless.
Like
Apple does it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, full Windows 10. So just like we have had in the past, we're not getting
this isn't Windows 10s.
We're not going to get Windows 10s on this guy.
Interesting. I didn't notice that actually.
And then if you get the i7 model, you're still going to get a fan. That's just the honest truth there.
But
you're
if you get the
i7 without a fan.
Yeah, people that want to buy the i7 models are going to use it for something other than just having it as your everyday laptop tablet.
And we've got integrated SSDs to the motherboard.
So PCI Express NVMe, nice and fast on select models, I've heard, though.
Yeah, there you go. We've got the new, as we've already said, the new keyboards. It's going to be really the new pen.
Oh, the pen is a big deal.
It's going to be a massive jump. There's a lot of people that use I think it's just a massive stab at the iPad Pro. Because the Surface already had the Surface Pen, and it was a drawing tablet and all that kind of stuff. And then the iPad Pro came out, the Apple Pencil. And now they're like redesigning the Surface Pro to like one-up that again. They've already released Windows Ink to a lot of their devices. They use those active styluses.
The Creators Update has added more features for pens.
And now they're just trying to they're using this new pen, all the new technology behind that.
Yeah. It has like 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity, which I think is higher than It was either 1,000 or 2,000 on the Pro 4, and before that I think it was 256 on the Pro 3.
Yeah, it's nuts. So drawers, anything like that, artistic if you're using Windows Ink for like note-taking schools, anything like that. This is huge.
Yeah, OneNote, the drawing, like fresh paint even.
Yeah.
You can tilt it too, so it has like a tilt sensor, which is completely new in the new Surface Pen. That I don't believe that works, because the Surface Pen technically is backwards compatible with the other ones, but I don't think the tilt part works. And the older ones are forwards compatible too. But yeah, it has tilt, so like if you're drawing like to the side, it gets like that brush effect.
And you can also adjust the tablet a little bit more than you used to before, because there's actually an upgraded hinge on it. So the previous hinge, it's the same form of like technology behind it, but now it can go to
165 degrees,
literally almost flat. Yep. Which is crazy.
They use the same hinge as the Surface Studio. Well, not exactly the same design hinge.
Pretty close, yes.
The same style of like 165 degree hinge.
Which is going to be crazy.
It no longer pops off. So like if you put on a lot of pressure for safety, it doesn't pop off, because apparently Microsoft thinks it's strong enough now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And for safety, the hinge no longer snaps if you push it too far. That would suck if that happened.
Well, I mean, they do that for safety, so you can pop it back in. It's like the Nintendo Switch.
I mean like in the past with the recent models, there's
you put a lot of pressure,
rip your Surface,
drawing on it.
I like it. I think it's actually cool. You don't have to completely replace your Surface or pay whatever it costs to upgrade those suckers. You can use the dial. I don't know how much
Surface
you guys
dial
have seen
support
that.
is now added.
Super cool.
You might have seen it in the Surface Studio. I mean, the trailer for the Surface Studio has 12 million views. So I'm sure some people have seen it.
And that dial for artists and all that kind of stuff is just awesome.
It's pretty cool. So yeah, they've been really catering to the creatives, the designers.
What do you think of them raising the price of that pen, though? Now it's in direct competition cost-wise with the Apple Pencil. $100, $99. Sorry.
But think about it this way: the Apple Pencil was pretty much like a Surface Pen, but more expensive. Now the Surface Pen is better than the Apple Pencil for the same price,
significantly,
because it has like the tilt features and the really good pressure.
And the battery life is still significantly higher on the pen. I mean, you use the separate batteries, but so much higher battery life than the Pencil that you have to have that cap that covers the lightning adapter to charge it, and you have to plug it into your thing. I think it's different. You're adding some cost to it, like $40 more, but it's not. I don't think that's if people are spending well over $1,000 for upper level models, I think a $40 increase to the pen isn't going to make that much of a difference.
I honestly wouldn't even buy the pen just because I don't use it enough.
Yeah, if you do the drawing
or
stuff,
I'd actually
it's fantastic.
I'm going to buy the Pro 3 pen. But so yeah, we got some. I got some things to say here for like prices and stuff. We have the. M3 model is going to be $800, just like the Pro 4. So like the pricing structure is going to be about the same. 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gig, I think. i5 model is going to be $1,000, $1,300 for the one with i5 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gig storage, which is my recommended option for most people.
The 256 8 gig.
256 8 gig i5.
That's the one that I think currently. typically you can get like on sales for around $1,000 when they go on sale, or up to $1,200. So if they can keep that price, is that what you said? $1,200 on that one?
It's $1,300.
$1,300.
It's the exact same pricing as the Surface laptop, spec for spec. Fun fact.
Yeah, so there's a little bit more.
Without the keyboard cover.
Fun fact.
Yep, fun fact. So yeah, and then they have the i7 models, but the main thing I'd say if you wanted an i7 model is they have the Iris graphics from Intel, so it has better graphics. And they also have LTE options coming, a first for the Surface Pro line. So it might be like $100 more.
Yeah, because the iPads have an additional charge if you get the LTE enabled ones.
It's like $100. So you won't have to like hotspot or tether.
But then you could just use link it to, like, say you have like Verizon, you could link it to your Verizon account.
Exactly.
And have data on the go, which would be
put in your SIM card.
Cool. Exactly.
And so yeah, they have the LTE on top of the many different options available. The keyboards cost, the black one, the Alcantara black one costs $129, but any other color costs the same price as the Signature Edition Alcantaras on the Pro 4, which is $160. So I guess it's just because they expect to sell more black ones, they produce them more and lower the price. But yeah, so
I like this. I think it's a good line. We've got a brand new lineup of Surface stuff, minus the Surface Book.
Yep.
Still haven't seen anything on that.
Yeah.
But the Surface Book they did that performance base upgrade.
Yeah,
so, like,
the Surface Book
nice.
is technically the most powerful and like most versatile. They're trying to actually versatile in a different way. Than the Surface Pro.
I like that. What's interesting though, no USB-C ports on the Surface Pro.
Oh, this is a big one.
So it's the same as going to be it's the same Surface connector with a USB and a mini display port that you found on the 4. I figured I'd throw this out there. No USB-C.
Nope.
We'll see. How that goes, but I've seen a lot of
fan feedback from the Surface community. A lot of people think it's time to have USB-C because of how like just everything uses it now, and
especially with Apple being like our
only
computers
USB-C.
Only USB-C, just pushing that market.
Yeah,
you'd think they'd want to compete with that,
but they are. What's funny is a Microsoft rep. I don't actually know who this is out of memory, but he basically was saying they actually made a USB-C dongle, which is like full support USB-C that connects to the Surface connector, and he said it's the dongle for people who like dongles, because apparently he was trying to emphasize how people who have USB-C already like using dongles,
because
he's trying to justify using a dongle
he's throwing
to
shade.
use other dongles.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, they're releasing a USB-C dongle to put on the Surface.
So he's jokingly talking about how you'd have to use a dongle. Oh, that's the best.
Yeah.
Oh, Microsoft with the shade thrown at Apple, which is something we enjoy here.
So yeah, TLDR basically here. Surface Pro 5.
Who reads it?
It's a refresh. It's still a great product. It's probably the best they could have done. Maybe you put in a USB-C. And it's priced about the same as the Pro 4 when it launched.
So we are excited. I mean, I'm truly excited about this thing. I love these. And I think I speak for him as well too.
The Surface,
it's gonna be awesome.
The Surface line, especially the Pro specifically, has always had a special place in my heart, just because of how versatile it is.
Right in here.
And now they're actually using that word.
So yeah, I'm excited. We'll see what happens with this in the future. We'll keep you updated as well. Like, this is pretty new. It's gonna launch on June 15th.
Once reviews come out, we'll see how well it performs.
You can pre-order yours now. So if you're interested in a Surface Pro, not the new Surface Pro and not the Pro 5, but the Surface Pro. The Surface Pro.
Yep.
Then go pre-order yours today, tomorrow, the next day.
Microsoft Store.
Up until June 15th.
Yep.
Probably June 14th, actually, because June 15th they're released, and you might as well just go to a store and buy one. But anyways, get a Surface Pro, because they're pretty awesome. We'll keep you updated with more information as we get it, but that is it for us this week.
Time to flip up the kickstands and put them. I had to put a Surface pun in there. Flip back the kickstands, throw your Surfaces to the side, and but before you do that, go ahead and click that like button. Get us some more likes if you enjoy what we're putting out.
Those likes bring happiness and joy and fulfillment to us here at Death Mountain Productions.
They really do. They don't really, because we don't monetize our videos.
They're heartwarming,
but they are special to us.
They might help us to get some money to maybe potentially one day pay for our crew we've got.
It's gonna be a long time.
Oh, and then Your little notification bell. You forgot the notification bell.
I was
speech.
getting there. I have to say about disliking the video if you thought it sucked.
You probably did, but we don't really care.
Nah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, we care a lot. So
click that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're seeing this, like, you probably have already subscribed.
you gotta subscribe, Ricardo.
But please do subscribe. Yeah. Ricardo probably unsubbed.
Ricardo's thrown a lot of shade on us lately.
He's our greatest critic.
You've got your shout out now.
Shout out to Ricardo for criticizing us.
I'm also going to throw this out there. We've got a request from Ricardo himself to see which one of the members here at Death Mountain Productions, actually not which one of the members, but how many pizzas. I think it's 3 within like 20 minutes. We'll get that up to you as quickly as we can. We're going to do that challenge.
You never know.
I cannot remember off the top of my head how many pizzas and in how much time, but whatever it was, we're going to not only meet that, we're going to break that record.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that for you.
And if you want to see it as soon as it releases, click that notification bell to be a part of the Death Mountain notification squad and beat me to the comments yet again. I kind of slacked last week. I swiped away the notification.
Trevor lost for week 1.
Yeah.
Not week 1. No. The first week.
No, I've actually lost 2 weeks.
Oh, you did?
I lost on the toast competition, I believe. So, yeah, that's the second time I've not been first.
And keep your eyes peeled for some other random drops because they're just going to start coming and you're never going to know when or why. And you're going to question why after you watch them because they're probably going to be very dumb, but they'll be fun.
Unless they're from me. Well, I mean, the videos they like to make are going to be very funny, and mine might be too. But I actually have some content on the way, maybe like some reviews for like hardware, some actual productions,
and we're actually starting to get our gaming channel back up and going. So we're going to start getting some let's
streaming videos,
all kind of stuff. So
we've got a lot on the way.
So hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and you stay classy, Spokane.
Stay classy.